Meeting of the Transportation Licensing Commission. My name is Sal Hernandez, and I've got on a WebEx meeting with me our commissioners, along with the director, Billy Fields, and Metro Council, Teresa Costonis and Carol Ladd. We're going to dispense with the Pledge of Allegiance as we did last month with our WebEx meeting, since we're all in different locations. Pursuant to the provisions of Section 2.68.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, notice is hereby given that if you're not satisfied with the decision made by the Metropolitan Transportation Licensing Commission, you may appeal the decision by petitioning for a writ of certiorari with the Davidson County Chancery or Circuit Court. Your appeal must be filed within 60 days of the date of the entry of the Metropolitan Transportation Licensing Commission's decision. We advise that you seek your own independent legal advice to ensure that your appeal is filed in a timely manner and that all procedural requirements have been met. At this time, I'm going to take a roll call of the commissioners. So I will call out your name, and if you could answer that you're here. Mr. Carr. You might need to unmute yourself. Looks like we do not have Mr. Carr today. So Mr. McNally.
Present.
Ms. Palmer. Looks like we do not have Ms. Palmer. Mr. Rogers.
I'm here.
And Ms. Warren.
Present.
All right. And of course, I'm here, and Mr. Fields told me right before our start of our call that we do have a quorum.
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
I'm going to announce preliminarily the phone line number for anyone who wants to call in. We do have a public hearing that we will start in just a moment for the annual emergency record zone assignments. And that number, should anyone like to call in, is 629-255-1913. All right. As I said at the start of our meeting, this is a telephonic meeting that's also being simulcast on Metro Channel 3. And in order to have and conduct a meeting like this, the commission has to vote on the record that it is necessary that we meet in this way as opposed to in person due to the COVID-19 pandemic. These types of meetings are explicitly permitted under the governor's executive order number 16. So at this time, would anyone like to make a motion? And if you'll raise your hand using the WebEx function, I'll call on you. Looks like we have Ms. Costonis would like to add something. Ms. Costonis.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to say that the motion should state that the business before the TLC today constitutes essential business of the metropolitan government, and that the COVID-19 pandemic requires it to hold a telephonic meeting.
Well, this is Kevin McNally. I don't know how to use the signal thing over here. Oh, never mind. Oh, there we go.
Great. Well, Mr. McNally, obviously, if anyone can't figure out the raise hand functions, it clearly is not obvious. You feel free to speak up. The reason why we are trying to use the raise hand function is just to minimize the talking over one another. But go ahead, Mr. McNally.
I do think I figured out how to do the raised hand function. I would make a motion that the business before the Transportation Licensing Commission constitutes necessary metropolitan business, and that because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the governor's executive order number 16, that this meeting must be held by telephonic communications.
If anyone would like to second the motion, please raise your hand and I'll call on. Mr. Rogers?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor of the motion? I'll do a roll call. So Mr. Rogers?
Aye.
Ms. Warren?
Aye.
And Mr. McNally?
Aye.
And it looks like we have Jessica Powell who called in. I apologize, Ms. Powell, I did not call on you during the roll call. And how do you vote? Ms. Powell, you need to unmute yourself.
Mr. Chairman, she's just able to get logged in.
Okay.
We may need to give her a second, but we are showing that she is in the call.
Okay,
Mr.
great.
Powell?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Ms. Powell, did you hear the motion that was on the table to be able to conduct a meeting telephonically?
No, I did not. I'm sorry. I'm a few minutes late. I didn't see the link. I couldn't find the link.
That's all right. We had a quorum regardless. So motion passes. All right. So the director, Mr. Fields, before our meeting circulated last month's meeting minutes as the commissioners. I'm assuming the commissioners have had an opportunity to review those minutes. Is there any one who needs to make any suggestions or changes? I did see one thing I wanted to speak on, but I'll let the others speak first. If you'll raise your hand, I'll call on you. Not having seen any hands, one thing I noticed, and I just wanted to clarify, are these meetings occurring telephonically or are they occurring by video conference? Because the minutes just reflect that they're being held telephonically.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to defer to Ms. Costonis from the standpoint of what the technical term is we're using.
Mr. McGowan?
I just wanted to add, I think we had a combination last time. Weren't a number of you by video conferencing, and I had called in by telephone.
That is correct. But I understood that we were, this is a WebEx meeting, and so, there is, I believe I'm on video. I believe everyone can see me on the video screen. But if it's just telephonically, that's fine too. I wanted the record to be clear if we're doing this telephonically or video.
I mean, the comments of both the chair and Commissioner McNally are correct. This is Ms. Costonis. So I think if you want to make the correction, that will make the minutes a little bit more technically accurate.
All right, I think that's probably what we should do, just so, years from now, somebody ever is looking at these minutes, they can see that we weren't just all on a telephone conference, but that we were conducting them by video, that they were, I don't know if it's necessary to say they were being simulcast on Metro Channel 2, but certainly I think we need to reference that they were done by video as well as telephonically.
I will revise the minute and circulate it to indicate that it was the video conferencing as well as, because you could do it either way, but we'll make sure it's video conferencing. Today is telephonically since we're not doing the video, but I will make that, and I'll circulate it after we make the correction, but I will revise that.
Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion regarding the minutes? Please raise your hand. Mr. McNally?
just make a motion with the amendment as reflected, or as Mr. Fields stated that he would do for the May 28th minutes, that the minutes be approved with that revision.
And can I add something to that?
Yes, I can't tell who's speaking. Please announce yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Jessica Powell.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Powell.
I think that it should be, and I don't know if this needs to be in the actual amendment or the meeting minutes, but I think that we should also do that going forward. So not only should it be corrected, and I'm sorry, I'm hearing a pretty bad echo. I don't know if it's just on my end or what, but I think that it should be corrected in the minutes from last time, but also going forward, if we're using the same systems, that it should be reflected in the meeting minutes the same way going forward.
All right, I think that's a good suggestion that we certainly can do that going forward. Like today's meeting minutes should reflect that this was done via WebEx, primarily audio only, but that it was done through WebEx. That's a good suggestion. So we have a motion on the table for Mr. McNally. If anyone would like to second, please raise your hand. Ms. Warren?
I'll second the motion for approval of the May 28th minutes.
All those in favor? I'm going to take a roll call. If you'll please respond yea or nay. Mr. Rogers?
Aye.
Ms. Powell?
Aye.
Ms. Warren?
Aye.
Mr. McNally?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, so next item on our agenda, we have a public hearing today. We're going to have our annual emergency record zone assignments hearing. According to our agenda, we do not have any applications or alteration requests. Mr. Fields, do you want to add anything?
This is Billy Fields. The Metropolitan Code of Law at 6.81 requires an annual meeting to consider all assignments for emergency record zones, which obviously serve the law enforcement services in Davidson County. On motion from various folks, we could make changes. There have been no requests for changes from the companies. There were no recommendations from anyone else, police department or emergency communication or anyone. So the staff recommends that we stay where we are. We do have to have a public hearing. So far, no one has called in, but if you want to leave the phones open for a moment or two now that you've opened, well, after you open the public hearing, Mr. Chairman, that'll be your decision.
Right. I will formally open the public hearing. The phone number again to call in is 629-255-1913. And Mr. Fields, before the meeting, were there any formal requests to speak on the issue?
No, sir, there were not.
And do we have the company records representatives on the call with us today too?
No, sir, they were all made advised of it. We did not require them to. Normally they would attend a public meeting, but with the COVID-19, well, they were all advised of the meeting, and then no changes were made, and there was no communication back and forth about wanting to speak.
All right, great. All right, what I would like to do, just so I don't rush this, is why don't we leave the phone line open? Let's move on to review the driver application, record application for Mr. James House. And then once we're done with that, we can come back to see if anyone has called in. And if not, we'll close the line down and then confer about the annual record zone assignments So let's move on to the record driver application for Mr. House. Mr. Fields, could you present that issue to us?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Mr. House has applied to be a record driver. I'm going to let's go and put him into the meeting. Mr. House, as well as Jim Mitchell, who would be his employer if the commission gives him authority to operate a record, they've now joined the meeting. May Mr. Mitchell or Mr. House?
Hello, this is Jim Mitchell. House is with me here.
Okay, thank you. If you'll just stand by. Mr. House made application to be a record driver. We reviewed his application. There were a couple of issues at the time that we felt that we needed to bring to the commission. But legal has reviewed his application, and I have reviewed his application. He is qualified. Again, he does have a record it's an old record. But based on the history of this commission, I felt like you'd probably want to see it. You do have his application in front of you, and he is available to answer questions along with Mr. Mitchell.
All right, commissioners, we're going to, again, if you would like to ask any questions of Mr. House, if you will raise your hand, I will recognize you so you can then speak. And of course, we can all take a moment to go over his application as well if necessary. I'll call on you first, Mr. Rogers. Go ahead.
I saw that he completed parole successfully, but and it may be in there, but I never saw exactly what the offense was. Maybe I missed that.
Is that a question for Mr. House?
Yes, I'm sorry, or whoever can answer. I'm sorry.
Mr. House, are you on the line with us with Mr. Mitchell? If you could, I can barely hear you, so if you could speak up a little bit and if you could give us some information in response to the question.
And the question was, the offense was on 187, which is murder, second-degree murder.
I'm going to go ahead and call on Mr. McNally.
Mr. House, my name is Patrick McNally. I have a couple questions. Did you received a 40-year sentence?
I received 15 plus 10 sentence.
You what?
I received 15 plus 10 sentence.
Okay, and you came off parole on December 30th, 2019?
Yes, I did, sir.
All right, and there's a very good letter in here from the probation and parole officer saying that you took parole seriously and participated in your rehabilitation.
Very true, sir.
Did you go to trial or did you plead guilty to murder in the second degree?
I went to trial.
Were you charged with first-degree murder?
I was initially charged with murder, sir. It was a second-degree murder.
Okay, so I understand correctly. You went to trial on first-degree murder and the jury returned a verdict of second-degree murder.
It was before going to trial, sir.
Oh. So the prosecutor reduced it from first degree to second degree before it went to trial.
This is correct, sir.
All right, and the jury found you guilty?
Yes, sir, they did.
All right. Just tell me in just a couple
Mr.
sentences.
Chairman?
Go ahead, Mr. Fields.
Commissioners?
Yes. Go ahead. Can you hear me, Mr. Fields?
I can. We had a lapse here. Okay, I'm glad you're back. We're back online.
Mr. House, would you please just tell me in a couple sentences what you were accused of doing?
I was accused of killing a man.
All right, during a robbery or somebody you knew, or what were the circumstances?
It was it was in defense of others, sir. But the jury didn't see it that way.
Hey, did you know your victim?
Yes, I did, sir.
Who was the victim?
The victim is Mr. Barry Ward. He was a street person at the time. He was a well-known pimp, and he had a young lady by the name of Charmaine as one of his ladies at the night. He wanted out of it, and he subsequently pulled a gun. And at that time, I thought I was defending her, but that was not the case. I was defending liberty of life at that time.
Mr. House, this is Mr. Hernandez. I'm having a difficult time understanding because I think our connection is not that great. Are you are you calling in by telephone, or are you standing with Mr. Mitchell?
I'm with Mr.
And is the phone on speaker, or is it? Are you holding it like a handset?
Yeah,
I will take it off speaker.
It might be easier to hear because you're coming in and out for some reason.
Okay, sir. Is better?
All right, go ahead. If you could back up and restate your answer to Mr. McNally's question about giving the circumstances of the murder and what had happened.
And Mr. Chairman, excuse me, make sure all commissioners, until it's time for them to speak, will mute the button, and that will help a lot.
Yes, sir. If you ask the question that you want me to answer, so I'll be more than happy to answer it for you.
Mr. McNally, do you want to repeat your question?
My question just was if Mr. House knew his victim, and I think I was able to hear his explanation about that in his defense at trial that the jury rejected. I have no other questions.
I wasn't able to hear it, so would you mind repeating it?
No, man, I would not mind repeating it. At the time, I was a drug addict, being, I guess, watch a young lady by the name of Charmaine Carew, who was employed by a pimp by the name of Barry Ward. At that time, I was on drugs. At that time, I was making very, very, very bad decisions in life. I was young, 32, and using drugs as like I would drink water. I'm no longer that person. I spent a number of years, almost 23, 24 years in prison. I've been out since 2014, ma'am. I've done everything and anything that the law enforcement has asked me to do. I haven't been in contact with law enforcement since I've been out. I don't get as much as a traffic ticket. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. And I try and do as best I can to keep young people out of prison. But like I said before, these were decisions that I made when I was using, and I don't use anymore. I haven't used in 28 years, 29 years. And that's all I'm asking is for the board to consider letting me drive for them here in the state of Tennessee.
And you, this is Mr. Hernandez again, Mr. House, and your intention is to be employed by TOPRO?
Yes, sir.
No, sir, I apologize that the application was updated to, it'll actually be working with Dad's Record Service. I'm sorry for that error. The application we've been working the application for several months, and you should have gotten the updated one, and apparently you got the old one. It should have been updated.
I was wondering why we had Mr. Mitchell on the phone. Okay.
And I have had lengthy discussion with Mr. Mitchell. He's present there with Mr. House to discuss his employment, his experiences with Mr. House.
All right, Mr. Mitchell. Actually, I've got another hand raised by Mr. McNally. Before we move on to Mr. Mitchell, go ahead, Mr. McNally.
I know, I just want to make sure that Mr. House is a qualified person having come off parole this past December. I can never remember whether it's 2 years, 3 years from the date of the conviction, the date of parole, probation, or what. Does anybody know for sure? I
won't speak for legal. They may want to read the rule or the law, but it's actually when he was placed on parole or probation. So he was placed on it more than 5 years ago, and he's now come off of it for a period of 5 years. He was taken off of it in 2019, but he was placed on it several years ago. So he's past that period.
I do think that was our intention, that a person shouldn't be penalized or ineligible because they were on parole or probation. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Ms. Warren?
Thank you. This is Commissioner Warren. Mine's more procedural, but on your application and possibly on the updated one, it would have changed. But I noticed that you circled no on have you read the Metropolitan Ordinance Wrecker and Towing Services, and the commission rule is related to wrecker services. And hoping and assuming you've read that since then. And that's for Mr. House.
Yeah.
Mr. House, you have? Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Mitchell, would you like to add anything to give additional background on Mr. House or his application?
Yes, I would. I've spent quite a time with Mr. House. Actually been attempting to come to work for me for a few weeks. We've talked. My office has spoke with him. He's been very determined. He's completed everything we've asked him to do. And I talked with him about exactly what he did and exactly what happened. And he explained to me some things that I had actually never really realized in my life, that he was taught in his rehabilitation that I intend to use in the future with some other people. He explained to me things that were said to him and ways that he was reached by the people who was rehabilitating that made more sense than I've ever heard in my life. And I thought I'd heard everything, and I haven't. Very few people impressed me, and y'all know very well that how close I watch my drivers. As a matter of fact, the last two that we approved never made it past the first day and do not work for me at all. So Mr. House knows he has to walk the line with me. He knows that I am always around watching, and I have many, many people that help me watch. and he knows that I run a very tight ship. And he also knows that it's one chance and out here. So I believe that he deserves a chance, or I promise you I wouldn't have went this far with it.
All right, I don't see any hands raised, so would anyone like to make a motion regarding Mr. House's application as a record driver? I see a hand raised by Mr. Rogers. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll move we approve his application.
Is there a second? Mr. McNally?
I second the motion.
All right, all those in favor of granting Mr. House's record driver application, I'll call your name if you'll please say yay or nay. Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes.
Ms. Warren?
Yes.
And Mr. McNally?
Yay.
All right, motion passes. Congratulations, Mr. House.
I'd like to thank you for your time invested with it.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell, and thank you, Mr. House. At this time, we're going to go back to the public hearing on the annual emergency record zone assignments. Mr. Phillips, has anyone called in?
No, sir, there have not been any calls. Commissioner Carr has been trying to get in. I'm not sure if he's got a technical issue on his end, but he has, so I thought he might be calling trying to be recognized, but he's trying to get into the system. But there are no calls from the public on the issues related to the emergency record zone.
Right, at this time, we're going to close the public hearing and open this up for deliberation to the commissioners. As Mr. Fields stated, we have not received any applications or requests to alter the zones as currently assigned. Would anyone like to make a motion regarding the emergency record zone assignments? Please raise your hand if you'd like to make a motion. Mr. McNally.
I'll take a stab at this. I'll make a motion that we leave the emergency record zone assignments as they are and no modifications this year.
Is there a second to the motion? Mr. Rogers.
I'll second the motion.
All right, I'll go ahead and do the roll call again. Mr. Rogers.
I vote yes.
Ms. Powell.
Yes.
Ms. Warren.
Yes.
And Mr. McNally.
Yes.
And I'm assuming Mr. Carr still was not able to call in. Mr. Fields, is that correct?
That is correct. And Mr. Chairman, I missed who made the second on that motion.
Mr. Rogers.
Okay, thank you.
All right, motion passes regarding the regarding the emergency record zone assignments. So next item on our agenda concerns late file company driver applications.
Mr. Chairman, I'd anticipated that there were going to be some, and we were going to have a discussion about whether we could even accept them. However, there were no late files as I expected. I have no other issues on the agenda.
All right. Is there any other business that needs to be raised? Commissioners, if you'll please raise your hand. Not having seen any hand raised.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. We may want to ask Ms. Costonis. The governor has withdrawn or changed his order that allows us to meet telephonically or through video through WebEx. And I didn't know if there'd been any other issues related to that. I'm assuming we're going to be meeting, and we'll have to have an in-person meeting But there were some other issues that might be coming. I thought if Ms. Castones had any news, she may want to share that.
So, Mr. Fields is correct. The governor's executive order that allows us to meet this way electronically expires on June 30th. So we received a memorandum from the state comptroller's office suggesting that they don't believe it's going to be further extended. So based on that, we are advising our boards and commissions to assume that they're going to have to meet in person after July 1.
Is there any jurisdiction that the mayor's office has over this issue?
No, it is a function of state law.
All right. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I'll wait. I see, I'm going to raise my hand. Sorry, Patrick has his hand raised. I'll wait.
Mr. McNally?
I'm quick on that hand raising today. I can see how we could probably do social distancing and safe COVID-19 protocols among our commissioners. I suspect we'll probably have to limit the number of folks that will be allowed to come into the meeting room.
This is so it may depend what phase the city is in at the point in time when we have our next board meeting in terms of how many people are allowed to be gathered in one place at a time under the health department's rules.
Yeah, and I think we as a commission probably have some leeway in kind of designing for ourselves how we wish to conduct a meeting. If we want to limit people, I think we should do that. If we want to have them, wait outside and to be called in and ushered when it's their turn, we can do that. I mean, there are all sorts of things I had not realized we would not be able to meet, continue to meet this way for the foreseeable future. I'm disappointed that that order is not being extended. So I think we should. I will talk about this further with Mr. Fields, but I can assure you that I want to make sure that we do what we need to ensure good social distancing, requiring masks or whatever that we need to do so no one feels uncomfortable. And obviously, if anyone does feel uncomfortable appearing and in person, just let me know so I can forward that on to Mr. Fields as well. Ms. Powell, go ahead. You had your hand raised.
And that's pretty much what I was going to say. I have multiple sclerosis, and as a result, I am on an immunosuppressant, which means I'm considered high risk. And so I am fairly certain that even by the end of next month, that my doctor is not going to feel comfortable with me going out in public, especially for long periods of time. So I'd be happy to participate electronically, but if that's not an option, I am fairly certain that I will not be able to participate, at least for next month. But really, it's going to be up to my physician. It might be for the foreseeable future, depending on, number of cases and things like that.
Now, Ms. Castones, Ms. Powell raises a very good point. Are there any exceptions to the expiration of the governor's order to allow us to accommodate someone like Ms. Powell? So if we are having a meeting live in person, that she can still participate telephonically?
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry to report that there are not. I wish there were. The additional thing I was going to report is that while state law makes it absolutely clear that a local government board or commission, the commissioners themselves must meet in person, it is less clear whether the attendees or audience must be present in person as well. So we are hoping that there may be some additional guidance forthcoming from the governor's office in terms of continuing to allow electronic participation by attendees or audience, as opposed to them all being present in the room as well. But at this point in time, we don't have any further information on that.
Well, that's fantastic, Ms. Custones. So let's plan on doing that next month. We'll, if we're gonna have to meet in person, we'll still need to set up this interface to allow the attendees to present themselves either by video conference or by telephone. If the order doesn't say that, I'm gonna take the discretion to just assume that we can do that.
We're hoping it'll affirmatively say that they'll come forth with something affirmatively saying that that is okay. If they do not, then I think my office will have to kind of make a legal recommendation to the boards and commissions generally as to whether we can do that regardless. Okay,
great. Is there any other business that we need to raise today, Mr. Fields?
No, sir. That would conclude the agenda. The next deadline will be July the 8th. We have, at the present time, we have no issues yet for the July meeting. There are no public hearings scheduled that I'm aware of. However, there is one issue that is about, we're very close to the publication of the RFP for the shared urban mobility devices. Once that is published, and it's in the public domain, then we're going to ask the commission to have a special meeting to consider the RFP, as well as any amendments, any changes, or any other issues you'd like to recommend to the procurement office to be a part of the process. So as soon as it's published, Mr. Chairman, I'll be in contact with you to begin the process of trying to set up a special meeting.
Great. Great. Well, thank you, Mr. Fields. With that, is there anyone who would like to make a motion to adjourn? Please raise your hand. Mr. McNally?
I move to adjourn this meeting.
Is there a second? Mr. Rogers?
I'll second.
All right. And we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.